What is going on YouTube? It is FlopFish here, and welcome to NHL 14 Wishlist, episode number 2. And today we are going over what I'd like to see incorporated into HUT next year. And so first off, what you're going to notice here is just me kind of going through my team and showing off, how fast they are, because, Huselius is my slowest player, and he's an 87 skate. So, got a pretty good team, if I do say so myself, and that leads us to the first point, which is making the stats like skate a little more variable. Like for example, an 88 skate would be like noticeably faster than an 85 skate, and the reason why I'd want that is because the 88 skates are harder to find, in my opinion, but still, that's one of the things I'd like to see is the stats become more meaningful and just more powerful almost, because a lot of times I'm getting beat with a fresh 88 skate and a full line of chemistry, and I'm getting beat by 83 skates and 81 skates, and to me that doesn't make any sense. I think if I have a faster team, they should be faster, especially with the +2 skate coach. So that's the first thing I want to see, is more powerful, like the stats more meaningful. And the second thing I want to see is that there's more diversity in overalls, because there's a huge cluster of players from the 83 to 86 range, 83 to 85 even, 82 to 85, somewhere around there. And there's not much of a difference between them all. And to me, it'd help if you could spread out the overalls. Like Stamkos is an 89, and he's one of the best players to get from a pack outside of team of the week stuff. And even then, he's still one of the better players to get. So I think having him around, like even a 94 overall, I don't think anyone would complain about. Like having just kind of spreading out the overalls, because I think there's this giant cluster of players in this one overall. Which, yes, it's realistic as opposed to the NHL, but at some point, you do want to make it a little more, like, just have the players a little more diverse. And to me, that can make the stats a little more meaningful. It can drive up secondary value on the players, and I think it'd make the game a lot more fun almost. Just because like if you get a good player, you're more enticed to either keep them or you can sell them for a higher price. And when you have more pucks, you're gonna play the game more, and that leads into the next thing, which is packs. And packs are one of the huge things in NHL 13 that I've mainly noticed, because there's like those premium jumbo, or like the jumbo discount packs that you could get for like 2,500 bucks in NHL 12. That I lived off those, because you could get your average pack would be a very good pack. You get your contracts, you get your attributes, and you get a couple good players or a good prospect. And I'll get into prospects later, and it was just a really solid pack. And that's one of the things that I think they do need to improve for NHL 14, because NHL 13 in my opinion was really lacking in terms of packs. They're very low value to me, and there's some that were ridiculously good. I forget who it was. I think it was Dobbs that went on like 4 straight team of the week team openings on packs. Like, that's insane. But I mean, you don't really have to do that, but just have every pack kind of solid, and just lower or raise the return on them. Because right now, Death Monkey made a good video about this that I will probably link on screen here, about the market and how it's pretty much crashed, and how players that normally sell for a huge amount don't anymore, because they're just so common. And that's what happens when you get all these mega packs. Well, instead of having those mega packs, just have the discount packs, because still keep the players rare, and it just, to me, it just kind of improves everything. It makes it more rewarding to play and open packs. And right now, because it's very tough to open packs, and honestly, any player you want, you're better off just saving up the pucks for and buying, because the odds of you getting them from a pack is pretty much slimmer than none right now. And then once everyone starts opening them, there's so many of them out there, like he said about Carey Price. Carey Price is a very good example, because before you'd have none of them. Even a player like Corey Schneider. Corey Schneider didn't have a lot of cards of him out there, and now there's just a huge amount. Same with Mika Kiprusoff. Kiprusoff didn't have a lot, and you just see these same players over and over again that are just too common now. So I guess that kind of happens too when you don't have the prospect players being, like the rare prospect players. They aren't rare anymore because they're not. You can't apply attributes onto them that last a long time, and that's one of the things I do want to see them bring back. Is the NHL 12 kind of system here where they have what should we call it, players like the minor league players. You can use their duration cards on them and for a longer period of time, if not infinite, because that way you could limit the amount of durations you can have. So for example, you can't just go full on 99 overalls unless you have like +9 everything for stats. To me, that'd be really a really good idea. And I don't know, I think stuff like that is what's needed to come back into Hut. And 'cause I miss having like the prospects. Like I got Morgan Riley in one of my packs, and I was saying, and Subban in another, and as I was saying in them, I'd be really happy if it was NHL 12 because those are great players to get. And in NHL 13, they're just, you can try to sell them, but they don't sell for anything. Most of the time you're better off quick selling. Like for example, I picked up Morgan Riley for $100 off the market, and that's ridiculously low. He should be like at least $1,000 player in this because he's young. He has a lot of, he has room for growth, and to me having that potential is kind of cool. And it also spreads out a bit of a diversity in the game. So the next thing I want to see here is better tournaments and a better system overall, because in the tournaments, and I will share my experience about the Hut playoffs right now. So yesterday I was playing and I made it to the finals, and I ended up facing off against a guy who was lagging in all the key situations, and it got to the point where I was about to quit, but my internet connection, pretty sure I was IP flooded from it, so my internet connection crapped out. But what would happen is whenever there was a key part, like whenever I was on a breakaway, it just my side would lag, and then he'd end up with the puck, or I'd be behind his net and I couldn't do anything. Or if he was in my zone and he was in a good spot to score, he'd be around my defense and I wouldn't even be able to control anything. And to me that's not really fair. But it's stupid that I can't play in Hut playoffs anymore because my internet connection went sour. It sucks for me, and because I enjoy playing in them, and it was my first round through. And I was just like, what? So yeah, they need to make a better tournament system. Also, when you exit or just follow up with a DQ or just stop your connection or a dashboard on Xbox, it shouldn't reset you to the start. It should just count as a win and carry you forward to the tournament. I know there's people worrying about boosting and stuff, but if people are gonna boost on them, so what? The odds of them finding themselves on a ranked match is very slim anyways. So to me, that's what they need to do with this game. And that's kind of some of the changes I do want to see the Hut. Also would be to have the Winter Classic arenas available to buy or pull from packs, because I think that'd be a really cool idea. And maybe like make a more customizable arena, like you can add your logo or something onto it, or bring in like custom jerseys where there's a custom jersey card that you can design your own jerseys and use on your team. I think stuff like that would be really cool. Or like a Be a Pro card, stuff like that. There's lots of stuff that I think they could do to innovate Hut for 14, because right now it's just kind of stale and it needs some refreshing. So I guess one last thing I would like to see for Hut would be chemistry amongst all defensive players and all offensive players. So like your line changes would have something different. Like you could change your offensive lines and your defensive lines, and just by pressing like R1 or L1 or however you change like line to line regularly, but it only changed your one side, and you could kind of see your chemistry throughout, because I think chemistry between your D and your offense is pretty forward. So anyways, this was a game that featured the hip check that froze the game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. This has been FlopFish. This has been my NHL 14 Hut wish list. Hopefully you enjoyed it. take it easy and peace out. And if you're new, subscribe for more or like the video. And yeah, see you guys.